Hello, everybody. It is Thursday for us. Oh, it's going to be time for our next AMA here momentarily. We're going to give it just another minute. I think actually this is everybody for the stage, unless I'm forgetting anybody. But we'll give a minute for people to realize we're here and hop in, and then we'll get started here in just a second. All right, we're going to go ahead and get kicked off. Welcome to this week's AMA. I am pretty confident that everybody up here is at least as exhausted as I am, if not more so. But it's a good kind of exhausted, and we're very excited and happy to be here with everyone today as well. So, with that, let's start with Frisky Fox.
Good morning. Thank you, Bolin. Yeah, exhausted is the word, but it's a good kind. It really feels good uh, to basically just sit here on the other side of that huge release and see all the things that happened and all the things that had to come together to make that work. And it's really just inspiring. Yesterday in our team meeting that we had right in the morning, just to sort of like prep for launch and ensure that everybody knew what they should be doing and what things had to happen that day and all that type of stuff. It was just really cool to see all those things. And there was a lot, like we had a list with, I don't know, like just a lot of items on it, and they were assigned out to all kinds of different people. And just see those really take off throughout the day and have it get marked as completed. And it was just really cool to see how we're kind of functioning like a well-oiled machine, is what I said at the time, and it really was. This is our second expansion onto a new chain, and our third launch onto a chain in general, obviously, including the first one that we did on Harmony. And every time it just gets better. We learn, we see like what to look out for, and just ensure that everything can go as smoothly as possible. And it was really gratifying to see how it went, and we were able to avoid bridge again like we experienced last time, uh, with our help from our Synapse and like Layer Zero and all of our other partners there. And it's just really cool to see all that happen. And afterwards, we were all just exhausted and just kind of like kudos to everyone on our team, and everyone was kind of like slapping each other on the backs, and it was really good. But hopefully, the community saw that as well and was had a good time with this launch and having a lot less chaos with it. And I'm just really proud of not only how well it went, but also when you look at how many things we launched all at once. This is the most we've ever done in a single launch ever. And I think I said that in the past too, because it was, and it seems like every single launch we do gets like bigger and bigger and bigger. But it's because our team has the ability to do that as we gain experience and as we learn like the ins and outs of these things. And a lot of it, we're actually on the cutting edge. We're basically pioneering a lot of this stuff. Other projects haven't ever tried to do things like what like we're doing here. So we're kind of creating the rule book as we go, but it's been really awesome to see all that happening. And then the airdrops that we had happen from the splitting, I think it probably constitutes one of the biggest airdrops in the space. All of the locked jewels that were from Harmony have been split up now into all kinds of different buckets. There's still the one for Crystal, which will be coming in like the near future, but the other four items were all out there, so you guys should be able to go and claim those if you haven't already. And it's really cool to be able to launch and expand onto a new chain and onto like a new ecosystem without having anything in there that's directly doing a sale to our team or anything like that. Like there's no like ICO, there's no NFT sale or anything like that. It's all basically handing that back to you guys as the community, and anyone who is a player in all of the aspects that we had there is a real like recipient of the proceeds of all of these expansions that we're doing. And everything that we're building is again geared towards trying to increase utility for those assets that all of you guys own, that all of us own, and just create a more rich and exciting ecosystem here for this. So really stoked about that. And a big kudos to everyone on our team. Everybody stepped up, and it was like a really just like well-oiled machine there. So again, we are now a multi-chain game again. We were before, and then for a brief period we were just on one, and now we're on two again, and it feels really good. And like in the future we'll have more. Not sure when yet, but like we have plans to basically grow and grow and become the most inclusive and compelling offering out there for like Web3 gaming, and we're already up there, and we're like well on our way towards just continuing to push that as we go. So now that we're at this stage, it's kind of like what's next, and we actually had a meeting this morning where we were just kind of recapping all the things, and then Sashay was like, okay, shifting gears now, what's next, and just like without even any like break or anything, it's just like on to the next thing. And really that's what all of us are here for. That's what we're excited about, is just being able to build those next things. There's some really exciting things on our roadmap. Of course, in the short term, we have Duels Season 2, which will be opening again soon. But there's on top of those, we have some really cool things that are being worked on, like PvP, land utility, travel system, crafting. There's just all kinds of really amazing stuff that I'm super excited about. And now that we have this launch under our belts, we can really start to focus on those and start to really churn those out. So a lot of effort over the past, I guess it's been like 4 or 5 months since we made the decision that we had to move off of Harmony. And it's really cool to see everything coming together for that, and the improvements that we've had to make along the way to the infrastructure and to the smart contracts and to the front end. There was a ton of improvements made on the front end to like reduce RPC calls that were just extraneous, and also on the smart contract side to improve optimizations for gas, and all those things really like rolled back into improving the experience for all of our app across all of our chains. So that's really exciting there. Plus, we've launched a lot of really cool features in that time as well. Like duels and the stuff with dark summoning, and there's like a handful of others with like multi-questing and stuff. But now is the time that we really can concentrate and focus on those new and exciting features that are on our roadmap. So stoked to be there at that place in our roadmap and at this time in our project. And I guess with that, I'll just kind of end my monologue here a bit and hand the time back over to Bolan to head over and see if we can get some updates from people. Thank you.
Thank you. Feel free to monologue anytime you want. One thing I did want to add is if you had Lock Jewel on Harmony, as Fox mentioned, 4 out of the 5 buckets are already sent out. If you have not claimed them and you're looking for them, they're in the jeweler of the respective realm, depending on which token you're looking for. So the vesting jewel is on Crystal Veil, vesting liquid and lock jade is on Sarandale. When you open the jeweler, there are tabs for each of those things to be able to claim them. So if you've not done so yet and you're looking for them, that's where they are. And that was really all I had. That was a phenomenal monologue.
Hey,
Wanted to
hold
go-
on. Can you confirm which one we haven't done yet? Just in case
Oh, yeah,
people are curious.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? No, it's a mystery. Yes, so the one that is still pending is Locked Crystal. That one will also go out on DFK chain. It will also have a tab at the jeweler once it is sent, but that one is a little bit more involved work-wise, so it has not been done yet. It will be done in the near future, as Fox said, and I'm not going to commit to anything different. But yeah, so Locked Crystal is coming. All of the rest are done, so make sure you go claim them. And that was really all I had to add to that. So Let's start off. Dreamer, did you have some updates for us? We missed you last week.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. I think last week I was traveling, and in those travels, ended up not feeling so well, and have been kind of recovering through the lead up to this. So, huge shout out and kudos to the entire team. I've been watching and doing what I can, but it's pretty incredible how dedicated the developers are. Those on the marketing side, the art side, the game side, the streams that we're doing, the community itself. The stream yesterday was long, and I listened to as much as I could, and it was exciting and entertaining the whole time. And grateful for those that have dropped in and hopped on stage as well. So big shout out to everybody this last week. I saw one comment praising the lack of bugs or issues with this launch, and I don't think we should underplay how big of a deal this is. In my mind, since the launch of DeFi Kingdoms, it's kind of been, if it played out like an action movie, I think the beginning would be like this, rise to hero status, exciting, everything's going great. And then, you hit the part of the movie where you start to hit like obstacles and things aren't going so well. And you start have to flexing, muscles and attributes that are different. I feel like in the last 5 or 6 months, we've seen a lot of events occur that may have wiped out another team, another community, another project, another product. And this is a really huge accomplishment because it shows all of us and anybody else that pays attention in the future or looks back when maybe they looked away for a while. It shows our level of resilience and ability to pivot. And it shows external validation from new partners coming in and, putting actual capital and partnerships behind that vote of confidence. It shows a launch that, recovers from an event that maybe many thought that we couldn't recover from. So I don't think I fully processed it. I'm guessing we all haven't to an extent, but when Fox said, "Hey, we are a cross-chain game again, or a multi-chain game again," that really hit it for me. I remember the night when the bridge incident happened, on top of everything else happening in the market and everything else that was going on, and I was in New York. I think I did like a 14-hour day at NFT NYC, and then we stayed up all night working through options and everything, and didn't really stop until we found a solution and then started working towards it. And the first step to that was, Christabel parity. And that was a long road, and Ava Labs stepped up and helped us, and our team came together and we got that milestone checked off. And that's been huge. That is the amount of transactions, the stability, the fees, the level of reliance, and the sheer like delta compared to our experience on Harmony from that move. I think we can all agree was a huge accomplishment. And then to move to this big milestone that we're experiencing this week really starts to solidify a foundation to build a really fun, epic game on that many will want to participate in, hopefully choose to invest their time or resources or others in, and invite many other to come in and get back to what we said in the bull market, where we're here to be everywhere. We're here to take over. And maybe that was tested a bit in this market, but this is really the first or second or so notch under our belt that says we meant what we said. We have the team to do it. We have support to do it, and we have the right product. So sorry for the monologue of my own, but I feel like this week is such a huge accomplishment for many reasons, all things considered. If we take a step back and look at, the entire year. So wanted to really hit that home. Anything to add from anybody before I just give a few updates and pass it off?
I was just gonna throw out there, it was really fun in Miami when we were talking to people who didn't know DFK as well. Be like, yes, we're a cross-chain game. Well, I guess technically right now we're not cross-chain, but we were and we're about to be. So that was fun.
So I guess then more quickly on my side for updates, now that we're live, we have had a lot of things queued up. Sunbear and I have been working with relationships that have been, some of which have been fed to us from the Clayton group, some of which we've got from Token with, Pi, Risen, Poppy, and Cinnamon Bun at the live events. So we get to work on a lot of those now that we're live there. One that was retweeted was Kaikus Wallet, which was a lot of work to refactor. I don't know if I'm using the right word there, but to make sure that we could support that wallet. And it's going to be a huge win. That is the wallet that I don't want to misquote, so I'm just going to say vast majority of users on Clayton use as primary. MetaMask is the second most used wallet, I believe, but only about a third of their users use that. So it was very important to us to launch with support of Clayton ecosystem's main wallet, where we're now being listed as like an auto-populated project and token right in their app. So a lot of big wins there. Wanted to celebrate. I'm going to continue to work with Kaikus, and they are co-marketing with us as well, and we'll continue to as we have new features come out. On the aggregator side, Swap Scanner is the big aggregator on Clayton, and we haven't really shared a lot of names up to this point because we weren't live yet. But now that the DEX is live, we are going to be making sure that it is ready to hand over some information and get integration there. That'll essentially allow anybody in the Clayton ecosystem to buy Jewel with any token through the aggregator itself. There are talks on going a step further and not only supporting our DEX in the the Clayton #1 aggregator swap scanner, but also maybe something in game. So more to come on that. We are in talks on native lenders and optimizers as well, because the Chainlink protocol and other price feeds are live on the mainnet. We have a few less barriers there. So the path to lending is a bit shorter, although still progressing on DFK chain. It's a bit shorter for those reasons. And we're gonna, get going on those partnerships and give updates as we can. So our DMs are already full of people excited that we're live, congratulating us and looking at how we might be able to work with them. So very excited. I'll pause there. Maybe I'll just invite Sunbear. Sunbear, did I miss anything on partnerships? Anything that you want to highlight?
I just wanted to say these partners connected to this launch have just been phenomenal. Just met with Swap Scanner the other night and expressed our desire to move as quickly as possible to integrate with them, and they just were very responsive and excited to be a part of it. And Kaikus even they spoke about how they created utility in their wallet because of us, because of our request to be able to get that information straight out to wallet holders. Just really impressed. Play One Games as well, their desire to partner and push out our information. And more partners coming in from Clayton, that they're ready for us to really connect with. So just a lot of great reception there. I also wanted to, since I'm on, mention, if you haven't seen the tweet that we retweeted yesterday, our partnership with Ethless. We've partnered with them a couple different ways and really excited to announce this partnership. They have a game called Battle Showdown where you're actually going to be able to see a Dread Knight and another character from DeFi Kingdoms where you can go in and battle with your NFT or those NFTs. So that's in the making right now. And they also have partnered with us to build on DFK chain their POC protocol. So if you are interested, check out Twitter. There's more information there, and there's an article they put out about those two partnerships with us. So very excited.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting that. I wanted to get to that too at one point. I'm glad that we got there quickly. This is really cool because Atlas has a lot of really awesome things in the works, and they had all the chains out there as choices. And we did meet them at Token in Singapore, and we didn't try to overly convince them outside, force them, but having a gamified ecosystem and a blockchain with low fees and ability to an interest to have like cross-platform, cross-game integration DeFi Kingdoms really offers the best gaming experience for any new or existing game in Web3. We hope and invite others that are on other chains out there to consider DeFi Kingdoms for their home. Battle Showdown and Pok, they're going to be two interesting examples of collaborations and crossovers, and we hope to continue to see more native games like DFK Arena and Fight Club, as well as other games that are less native like these, and potentially others in the Avalanche ecosystem, and those maybe outside of Avalanche and Lathan as well. So thanks for highlighting that, Sunbear, and back over to you, Bolon.
Awesome. Very much appreciated. Before we move on, Sunbear, did you have any other updates you wanted to give?
No, I'm good. Just excited to be here and super excited to see how the launch went. And cross chain again. Bullish.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Wanted to make sure I didn't cut you short there. One thing completely off topic, real quick, just while we're all here. I pinned the message in AMA voiceless chat, but Christian Peter made a graphic that's like a combo token of Jewel, Crystal, and Jade, and it looks really, really cool. So highly encourage y'all to check that out just because it looks cool. Moving on with updates. Let's see who wants to go next. Pi, you want to go?
Oh gosh, it's my turn. Cool. Sweet. All right. Hey everybody. I'm here for the update. And it's the update. And I'm super, super excited to share. It's kind of a two-part update. And I don't know where to start first. Let me first start with the Gen Zero merch contest submission update, and I'll just give a lot of details on it verbally right now, and I will share a Google form that outlines everything that I will be saying, and then we'll definitely be posting on our socials and in Discord everything and all the more details on it. So after the AMA, so we have 5 Gen Zeros that we're going to be giving away through this submission. And they'll be hero crystals from Serendale, and which is super exciting. And like I mentioned, that there'll be a form and everything and all the details. But to enter, it's a couple parts to that as well. But you will make a $50 USD purchase on the merch store, and whatever you get in the mail, you take a photo of it and share it on either Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, and with the hashtag DFK merch. And then you submit your order number with the post to qualify for it. And that's going to be really exciting because say you do a $100 order, that'll give you 2 entries, and you guys have an etc. So you guys have till December at the end of the year to place the order. And we know that things take a while to get shipped all over the world, so we'll accept entries all the way till January 15th. And so that'll give time for everybody to get their stuff in the mail, to make some cool pictures and some fun stuff. And yeah, so then we'll look up your order number, see if you qualify, look at your super cool picture and make sure it has the hashtag. And obviously you guys need to be following DeFi Kingdoms on the socials as well in order to qualify. So I would be really sad if someone spent like $100 and they weren't following us. So yeah, that would not let you qualify.
I'm
But
just following up. Real quick, Pi. So it's every $50 is a ticket, is that correct?
Yeah, every $50 is an entry,
And all
and
paying taxes and shipping.
yeah, it will include taxes and shipping. So yeah, which is really good. And of course, one person, one winner per Gen Zero of the five. That's another detail as well. But you guys will all be able to definitely read this later and refer back to it. But yeah, that's exciting. But I have something even more
Uh,
exciting to
I
share.
have a question before you go into the more exciting thing.
Yeah, go.
Because I'm actually still really excited about this one. I think it's awesome that we'll have more merch out there and in the hands of people, and that's really the end goal of this is just to like show off your merch from DFK. But how many bloaters are there? Like, there's not an unlimited amount, right?
What? Why are you talking about bloaters, Fox?
Because bloaters the best. I do remember you saying some number. I wanted to just confirm because I think those are going to sell out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get into now the second part of my announcement, and
Okay,
it is
okay.
that
You
that
totally stole her thunder.
oh my gosh, it's fine, Fox. But no, you're good. But so floaters are being added to the merch store, and I have my mouse on the button since, as you can see in AMA voiceless chat, we definitely have a password on it. But yes, I will now answer your question, Fox. And it's
I'm
that
crying
there
right now. I'm crying right now.
no, it's cool. But we have so I kind of shared it's in the triple digits of how many bloaters we've got, and we have about 450 bloaters that will be in the store or that we have stocked. So it's limited. It's a limited amount, and I hope we'll see how the demand is for this drop of bloaters, and if it's very successful, we'll definitely do our best to restock for sure. But yes, I did press the button, so you guys are welcome to hop right in. And Beetle Dude says correctly, actually, that there's a 3 item limit for these bloaters. Because we don't want someone buying 300 bloaters and then taking it all away from us. So yeah, I think if you guys refresh the page, bloaters should be on there. You guys should be able to buy them, and I do I do have a um like flat rate shipping, so $8 to ship it in the US, $20 to ship it to since we're shipping it out of the US, it's about $20 to ship it to European countries, and then $30 for Asia, which is it's expensive. Shipping is expensive, and we tried our best to get some discounts, shipping discounts for us, and yeah, I really appreciate the excitement for all of this, and yeah, that's all the things, and we'll be now that bloaters are out in the wild on the store, there'll be lots of bloater marketing for these plushies. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all of this, and good luck as well on the Gen Zero merch contest submission. And yeah, bloater orders definitely qualify. So yeah, get a bloater, get a Gen Zero perhaps. But yeah, thanks guys. That's all I got.
And that is one
Get your
plug.
bloater.
Yeah, they're going quick apparently, according to AMA Voiceless. So
Every bloater out there in other people's hands besides Pieface is another bloater saved from getting punched every day. So you guys
that's
gotta
true.
They're just so punchable. I love it.
And while
Like,
shipping
if I
is
could just,
good,
oh, sorry. I was just gonna add and clarify for any that are curious, that it was very clear, but I just want to make sure it's extra clear, especially in the write-up. The purchase, the $50 purchase alone is not an entry. The money is simply for the merchandise. The entry is really taking every $50 and of worth of merch, and then doing the following steps related to social media. That proof of social media posting and linking it back to purchase is really the entry. So for any that are wondering if we're doing a Gen Zero raffle for dollars event. We are not. We are launching our merch store in exchange for that merch, which is priced for the price of the merchandise. Price does not reflect anything related to Gen Zeros. In addition to that, the celebration of social media like marketing and proof thereof is what qualifies as the entry. So if somebody were to go purchase a bunch of stuff and do nothing, you have some really awesome merchandise, and it's great for the holidays. So just want to make sure that's really clear. But over to you, Paul.
No, that's a really good point. I'm glad you clarified that. And I was just going to say, while unfortunately international shipping is unfortunately expensive, it does count towards your entries. So, it's a, give and take on that front. But that three item limit on the bloaters means I can go ahead and shut down my eBay store. So I'm kind of disappointed, but I'll just have to get my own personal bloaters then. No, really excited for that. And for anybody who hasn't had a chance to see the bloater plushie in real life yet, they look as good as they look on the website. They're really, really nice. You will not be disappointed. Not financial advice. All right, updates. Yes, let's go to let's start with the dude of Beetle.
All right, I was ready this time. I took a break from my posting. Yeah, I mean, I think Fox mentioned a lot of stuff that you know, a lot of awesome things. We had our launch yesterday and it went really well. I do want to give big props to Typical. He's been spending weeks and weeks working on integration with Kaikus Wallet, both on mobile and desktop, and we're able to get that through. Basically required a refactor of most of our code base to make it wallet agnostic. So that sets us up for success in the future as well. So a great update there. And then I got to work on the RPC optimizations, which were just kind of across the board. I think I mentioned in the announcement that it came out to be maybe about 90% optimized from what it used to be, which is amazing. Just kind of hopefully everything feels a lot snappier on Crystal Vale and the new Serendale as well. That's kind of the hope, is that it's going to be a boon across the board. Super impressed. Just want to call out some people, Winston, Sachet, Zipper on the testing side, just keeping the devs moving forward and focusing on any issues that popped up, which overall wasn't a ton, but that just speaks volumes to the amount of testing that we did ahead of time as well, and just how great our testers and our knights are at kind of fighting any issues ahead of time. So big props there, and big props to Hubert, Magnus, and Fox last night, just putting heads down and getting everything running. We're working nonstop, and it was impressive to see. And then all the people that I don't know about or didn't have time to track yesterday, like on the marketing side and Bolon and you guys doing your stream. Just big props. We have an amazing team. This is a huge launch. This is not something that should be doable in like 24-hour time frame, but we were able to do it, and it went as smoothly, I think, as it could have. And just want to give props to the team. It's amazing. All right, that's a lot of rambling, but now we're excited. Now that we've got new Serendale up, we've got Crystal Vale up, we're starting to move forward on all the items that have kind of been on the backlog. So excited to be bringing some new features soon. We've got more cool UI updates. Props to Cabby for giving us some new UI. I know everyone liked the new UI that we posted up there, but we're also kind of continuing that forward. So I think we've got some scheduled for maybe a settings menu. You might see some differences in the inventory next time around. So we're just really trying to push kind of the gamified new art style forward and make sure that everything is looking great. And I guess I didn't give props to Second Best Dad because it's
He doesn't deserve them.
hard to do. It's hard to do, you know. It just catches in my throat a little bit. But him and the art team did an awesome job with all their updates. Really love to see all the consistency across the realms and all the new NPCs. He's pretty much an NPC machine. I asked him if we could do something, and he does it in like 10 seconds. Won't say that. But anyway, it was awesome. Hopefully you're enjoying all the new NPCs and the updated ones. There's a couple Easter eggs in there as well that kind of hint to a broader story. So hopefully people are enjoying that. We're going to keep sprinkling in as much flavor as we can. So, all right, that's it for me. I feel like I rambled a bunch, but just really excited for the direction we're going. And I think we're in a great position to basically go from here and make something great and continue bringing y'all what you love. So that's it for me. Sorry about the voice. Getting over a cold.
We'll forgive it. Yes, very exciting to get some little preview of some stuff that's to come. Magnus, you want to go next?
Sure thing. So, hey everyone, happy post-launch day. Thanks for your patience yesterday as we worked through a pretty massive live upgrade to the questing system on Crystal Vale, as well as a simultaneous launch of probably like 80 or 90% of our contracts on Clayton. With all the optimizations, we need to do a live upgrade of like 30 contracts and then process the multi-sig transactions for those. I thought the buttons on my ledger were going to break, so I'm pleased to see that the gas savings were worth all that effort on Crystal Vale as well as making Clayton possible. I'd also like to thank our bridge partners who were very on top of things during the launch to keep the heroes, blobs, and bloaters flowing across the bridges smoothly without any bottlenecks. And then on the front of the removing the contract deployment allow list on DFK chain, we're just waiting on a few configs to be confirmed by Ava Labs. Then we can all align on a timestamp for that hard fork, keeping in mind it's the year-end holidays that are coming up soon, and this requires everyone to kind of carry out the same upgraded with the same file at the same time. So just trying to coordinate all that as people's schedules are kind of filling up a little bit. So hopefully some news to announce on that soon. As always, the DFK Chain Twitter account, best place to go for that news. And lastly, it's just been really uplifting this year to see our team emerge through all the various market events and get set up with parity on DFK Chain. And yesterday, a brand new deployment on Clayton. I'm just really excited now that we're in a good place. We're kind of in a proactive mindset rather than kind of reacting to external market events. And now that that's done, we can really dig our heels in and build out these new features like PvP and travel power-ups, pet utility, and et cetera. We got a lot of cool things planned for the next year. And then, yeah, just thanks to everyone on the team for keeping a level head during the launch and just being great people to work with in general. So I really love working on this team.
Very much appreciated, sir. Hubert, I'm sure you've got some good stuff for us, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, just kind of echoing what everyone else has said already about the launch. You know, it was a very stressful time leading up to the launch, and then actually the launch happened, and then we, you know, I think as a lot of people expected, that we did have some bugs that we had to work through, and you know, I'm just really impressed at, you know, it only took about 7 hours from launch to really mitigate all of the major bugs and have all the functionality we had intended to have working. And you know, I don't know that we can really describe how much needed to happen to make that actually work. And you know, I heard people giving me some credit for that. And I don't think I deserve it. I think definitely Magnus and Fox are the goats here for that, because there was a lot that needed to go into the splitting and into just making sure all the configurations were done. And we had so many different contracts. We have so many contracts that we use with this game, and it, you know, the list continues to grow as we develop. And you know, being able to have that.
How many multi-sig things did you have to sign yesterday, Hubert?
I don't even know. It was like at least 50, but it was a lot. Yeah, it was And the tools we have for that are a little bit kind of tricky too, because you can't really see if you've signed something or not. You can just see how many signatures are there, and you have to click and then wait for it to load, and it just it's a pain. But we did it, and even after we did it, it was like, some of the bugs required us to redo a couple of those. So yeah, it was a lot of work, but now everything is running very smoothly. You can also see the optimization work that Beetledude put in, Beetledude and Typical into the front end. Things are moving a lot quicker. Like if you're doing multi-questing things on, just I guess for Crystal Veil as an example, if you do it on Crystal Veil, you can see how quickly it'll like queue up the next quest without really having. There was kind of a delay before. Now it's very snappy. And really everything is I've very noticeably snappier. I don't know if Beetledude you mentioned, but there was like a 90% efficiency improvement that you did, which is super impressive. And yeah, so it's really the team really pulled all the stops to get this launch to happen, and I really couldn't have expected it to go any better than it did. So very happy, very exhausted, but yeah, it was very I'm happy for what we've done, and we still have a little bit more to do, and then we can really turn our attention to future content, which I'm really excited about. So I did want to also talk about just some of the things that changed with this update, just to remind everybody. We did add in the reduced stamina recovery time per level. At the moment, it's 2 seconds per level above level 1 that your hero has. So that doesn't sound like very much, but it does add up over time, especially for higher level heroes. And we are planning a power up that's going to increase that to 5 seconds per level for those heroes as well. So that's something that's coming pretty soon. So you can look forward to that. We also did change mining and gardening pretty significantly. Now you have to input the amount of ticks that you want to do, how much stamina you want to spend up front, and then that's kind of locking you into that at that point, and you can't cancel early and still get rewards. So that's a pretty big change. Make sure you're aware of that when you're queuing up your quests. It does kind of make it a little bit more punishing if you make a mistake, and that is unfortunate, but it was kind of a consequence of all the optimizations that we did, and also it actually did improve our randomization security as well. So there were multiple reasons to do that. Along with those lines with canceling too, when you cancel quests now, just know that it's going to eat all of the stamina that you had input as far as like the number of attempts you were going to do. It will also not give you any rewards, and it will not change any of the other quests that you have in that same queue either. So you will see, so you could see, like, if you were doing mining quests and had 2 and you canceled the first one and it had like 4 hours left, the next quest isn't going to start for another 4 hours. So you really need to be a little bit more careful with canceling now. It's more restrictive. So just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of that. You really shouldn't need to cancel for anything. Just make sure that when you're committing to a quest, you know what you're doing. So then the last thing also is multi-questing. That didn't really change much on the Crystal Veil side, but kind of a consequence of the 1 second finality optimizations that we had to do to be able to run on Clayton, made it so that we can really only queue up maybe 1 or 2 quests using the old multi-quest system before it's too much. It takes too much time, which is something that we really need to work, be cognizant of on Clayton. Is there's a time limit for the completion of our contracts, and if we exceed that, it just will we can't do those transactions. So our solution right now is not perfect, and we're going to continue to work on it in the future. But at the moment, the way it works is when you're doing multi-questing, it will take everything that's in your queue and then generate an individual transaction for each, and then you can just click submit on each of them rapidly. And I found that Clayton is very fast, and you do get those going through very quickly. But there are some issues with that. For example, if you're queuing multiple mining quests or multiple gardening quests, and they're like the the second or third groups are relying on future stamina for the amount of ticks that you want them to do. Right now, it's going to come back saying that there's not enough stamina for those, and those will not generate a transaction. But they do stay in your queue. The reason why that happens is because you haven't actually submitted the transaction for the first group yet. The next group, it also checks against the state of your queue, like as if no other heroes were there. So it calculates future stamina based on no group being there, or fewer groups being there, and says you don't have enough stamina based on that. So we're working out ways to maybe make that a little easier, but that's what's happening. If you can just submit what you can and then wait for those to go through, and then try to resubmit what's still in your queue, and the next group will be submittable at that point. And then if you have multiple groups, you might have to go through multiple steps of doing that, but you still can. So that's where it's at right now. And like I said, we are looking to improve that. We're also working with Clayton to see if there's things that they can do on their side to help us improve that as well. So just wanted to make sure that was kind of understood. I know that's kind of been a little bit of a pain point, and unfortunately, just due to configuration differences, that's kind of where we're at with that. We also did release the Gen Zero rerolling. So for any that aren't aware, that have Gen Zeros, this doesn't apply to any of the new Gen Zeros that just released, but for all those that were released in Crystal Vale and in Serendel 1.0, that those are all rerollable. You can do that at the portal in Crystal Vale, and that would be rerolling the recessive genes of your main class, all of the genes of your subclass as far as game genes go, and then for appearance genes, your hair style, the color, back appendage and its color, and then head appendage and its color as well. So there are bonuses for that. We do have links to that kind of explain more details about that, but just make sure you're aware that is going, and it is going to go until I believe the 7th of January. So you do have some time to do that, but just make sure you're aware of that if you want to do it. It does help out the overall ecosystem for Gen Zero holders to do that. Because it helps mix in some of the new genes that we've added in, just so that those are not artificially rarer than others, even though they're basic genes. Okay, so that was a lot of things. I also have my monologue, and I have a little bit more to say, but I'll just make it quick. As far as just like things that we're turning our attention to, I think the first one for me is power-ups. I've been working actively with that with Cabby for the UI, and also just getting the contracts in place. That's ongoing. That's probably the next big thing with the game design that's coming, and it'll start out with not very many power-ups available. It'll likely just be the stamina one and maybe one other that's linked to new content. And then there is the level 10 profession quest and pet utility. That's right, coming right after that is another thing that we're planning on. And then of course still working on PvP and trying to get everything we aligned there to have a launch in the near-ish future, I should say. So that was a lot of words. I hope y'all got that. I will step down from the podium here now. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. You were very much appreciated on really all topics. But I know the multi-questing one is one that people have been asking about how it worked differently. So appreciate the explanation on that greatly. Sashay.
Hi everyone. Yeah, first off, I want to echo basically what everyone said, that the launch went really amazing. There were a few kinks we had to work out, but there's just so much improvement in this patch, both on the front end and the back end. So some things have already been said, but I guess everyone want to hear what's coming up next in DeFi Kingdom. So I want to talk a minute or two to talk about those. So Beetle Dude already mentioned it. We are going to do some more user interface improvements, especially things like like the inventory, which will feature stuff like sorting and things like that. So here's a specific shout out to Cabby, who has been working relentlessly to give everyone a better and a more beautiful experience. So thanks, Cabby, for this. Another thing that was mentioned actually in last week's AMA as a question is additional information on the hero card bags. So those will be coming in the very near future. You will see things like what stones you used for summoning, if it was a Purist Journey Survivor hero, if the hero has been dark summoned, if there were any crystals used for level up, things like this. So you can look forward to that on the front end. And to recap what you had said, for the next major feature release, we're looking at the level 10 profession quest. Specifically, we're going to start with foraging and fishing, which will also bring us pet utility, and the first of our power-ups will also be tied into, or some of the first of our power-ups will be tied into level 10 quests and the pet utility. So those are not all features that are coming up in the near future, just some of them. So I hope you're all excited for those. We will share more information as we're closer to the release of those features. And another thing we are going to look to bring out in the next few weeks is a new iteration of our roadmap. So you can expect, you can see what you can expect in general, what will be coming over the next year. So that's from my side.
Awesome. I really was trying to think of something to ask you just to make you talk more, but I couldn't come. So we'll move on. We only had a couple questions this week, which worked out really well since there was a lot for us to talk about anyway. But we will knock those questions out real quick. So the first one is really just primarily, I guess, me and Pi, although everyone is welcome as always. But just asking around the marketing strategy between us and Clayton. I guess I'll go first because I'm already unmuted. So we talked a little bit about this last week, but obviously now it's much more in action. So you should have already started seeing a lot of Twitter action from Clayton, as well as Clayton Korea, their Korean Twitter account. In addition to that, they actually sent out a press release to a lot of different Korean publications. I think by last count, we had been picked up by like 12 of them. So they're definitely doing great strides in getting the word out on their side of the world about DeFi Kingdoms. And one thing as well, which there will be more details to come, but next Thursday evening in Korean time, which will be early Thursday morning, more than likely, in the US time, we will actually be doing a live event with Clayton Korea as well. So you'll see things continue to ramp up, but you should have already started to see the start of them now. We've mentioned it before, but their marketing team is great. We've been meeting weekly with them for probably like 2 months now, maybe more. And so, we've talked through a lot of strategy and all, and now that we're actually there and we're up and running, now is when the real fun begins. Pi, did I miss anything or say anything wrong, which is more likely?
Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, it's been great working with them, and there's a lot of media going out as well, a little more like traditional media press releases in Korean, which is exciting, and that's kind of just building out more awareness in other media, which is wait, I already said that. But yeah, so. And we are getting picked up by some other places, which is cool. And doing so brings in people who aren't very familiar, perhaps, with crypto. And so a lot of onboarding and education is needed. So we are excited about that, to make sure that people can understand how everything works and just crypto in general on how to just be safe with your funds and um, just getting into the awesome world of gaming on Web3. And yeah, we're excited about the getting things out there in different languages and doing lots of translations. And it's actually kind of interesting in the Korean language, they don't have the letter F in it. So DeFi Kingdoms is actually, and they use the letter P in to use for the letter F. So it's like DeFi Kingdoms is more so DePi Kingdoms. So it's a little exciting because my name is Pieface.
That was on purpose, wasn't it?
But anyways, yeah, we're excited about that, and just to let others know as well, just in marketing in general, in this bear market, we aren't really big on doing tons of ads and buying up a lot of ad space because that requires lots of money. So we've really appreciated so much a lot of the organic marketing and that's been going on, and that's mainly through the community and just being out there talking about DeFi Kingdoms has brought in a lot of users that are so much more meaningful than just a banner ad. So yeah, just I know that people have been asking about like, oh, why aren't you buying up this ad space or doing this in traditional media? And money is one thing, but also acquiring more meaningful users through other ways is another reason as well. So I mean, we are excited. Hopefully, in the bull market, we can do those cool ads and other stuff like that, but it's lower in priority for us. Yeah.
Most definitely. That said, I'll never forget our billboards in Miami. Those looked awesome. Not this past time, last year. To clarify, that would have been. Oh God, I don't even remember when that was, but it was really cool. They looked great. All right. So one other question. So essentially, it's around swapping C Jewel for S Jewel and vice versa. So the ability to keep your locking period, but just exchange C Jewel for S Jewel. Uh, Hubert, Beetle, Magnus, Fox, did one of y'all want to speak to that?
Oh, sorry, I was shitposting in the chat. Was this about the C Jewel and S Jewel?
Yeah, yeah, the ability to switch between them directly.
Yeah, so contractually, it's not possible. There is the like withdrawal fee and things like that. From a I guess strategic perspective, you do have to kind of choose, like which realms do you want to receive a share of like the fees from? For me, it's both, and I have actually like the same amount in both, and was sort of planning for that. And I think that's really what we're going to be saying going forward is that you just, like there is opportunities on both realms, and eventually we expect them to sort of like even out. And uh, like certain realms will have more players or more activity for certain features. There will be some features that are realm specific. A lot of features will be on both realms. So there's going to be just sort of an ongoing thing. And it's kind of one of those things you want to have an eye on and see what the like return on one realm is versus another realm at the given point in time, because they will be in flux. But as far as planning to have a swap feature for C Jewel to S Jewel straight, I don't think that is something that we can do with the contract how it is, and I don't think it's necessarily something that we want to do strategically either, because of just the tokenomics of it, I guess.
Perfect.
Anything?
Maybe I'll just
As well. Nope, Dreamer, go ahead.
yeah, maybe I'll just add too. I think right now as we look at S Jewel and C Jewel, we're really looking at the simple return that's based on activity on the different chains, different realms. But as power ups come out, they're going to affect that as well. And there might be types of power ups that are linked to maybe certain builders or partnerships that could be unique to one of the realms that maybe is not another realm. So over time, that depending on the player's interest and risk tolerance and everything, it could be that there would be other reasons to have an asymmetric allocation to the jewelers, maybe especially years in the future as we are on other chains as well. There might be a greater draw to the chain A versus C because of certain power up or combat related item or guild related item as well. So although right now I did something very similar to Fox, I put equal amounts in both for the same amount of time. Because it's a long-term play on the growth of the ecosystem, participating in the fee like allocation, the portion sent to the jeweler, but also excited about the power-ups to take that and allocate to as well.
Perfect. Appreciate that from both of you gentlemen. Two last things and then we'll wrap up. They're both very quick. One is gas on Clayton. Obviously, it's been talked about a lot. Fox was just talking about it a little bit in the AMA voiceless chat as well. But just to throw it out there, yes, gas on Clayton is higher than gas on DFK chain. DFK chain was built for GameFi, so it is optimized as much as we could make it for exactly that purpose, which leads to probably the lowest gas fees on a chain that I've seen at least. So gas on Clayton is a little bit higher. We are exploring options to get some mitigation on that front, which we'll have more details on as they come available. But one thing I did want to throw out there is, I was doing the math last night when I was talking to some people. It's still actually slightly cheaper than where it was on Harmony when we shut down Sarandale. So yes, it is a little bit higher than DFK chain, and we are very fortunate to have DFK chain. But just, keep in mind relative costs as well. But that is something that we are aware of and we are looking into. So definitely something to stay tuned and there'll be more info on. And then I was going to give a second if anybody wanted to chime in on that.
I guess I'll just add some thoughts because I was in the channel updating things there too. So if you want to see more about it there, but there's some cool things that we are experimenting with that haven't really been tried yet in the Web3 space. But things like being able to log in with your MetaMask and then have sort of like a balance that you could draw from, like for gas and things, and having like subsidization with sort of like the gas refund programs that are out there. And even involving like power-ups. There's all kinds of really cool things we could do to improve the user experience and also make it so that it's a little bit more economical as well. So those are high on our lists there for sure. But again, just kind of to circle back, like we built our own chain for a very specific reason, and it was that we have a lot of transactions, as you can see from the Explorer. I think we basically are doing more transactions than the Ethereum blockchain most days, which is insane. And there's just a lot there that we created it with the cost in mind, basically. So that it's using Joule, which is awesome, and B, it's at a price point that it's very easy to get into, and you can actually still have really good ROI on it too. And I feel like it's the same thing over in Clayton too. It's really like low fees. There's still like really good ROI there as well. And we will continue to improve that as we go. Plus they have like 1 second block times, which is awesome. So there's a lot of like pros and cons out there with all kinds of chains. But I feel like Clayton is easily like the best one that we could have expanded to at this time. So stoked to see where it goes.
I'm just really excited that we're on 2 chains now.
Yes. Thank you.
What? I can't do it. Yeah.
And then, yes, that makes me so happy. So one last update, and then we will wrap up. I have the honor, privilege, and pleasure to announce, and we will announce this later as well. But first in for the people who tune into our AMA, next Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which would be next Tuesday at this time. 5 minutes ago, it's 3:05 p.m. Eastern right now. We will be having our first official AMA with Wisdom Gaming. So after this AMA, I'm going to start a board on the talk.defykingdoms.com site for Wisdom Gaming specific questions. I know you all. I know you're going to try to pull alpha. I'm not going to tell you not to, but we're don't expect too much alpha. You can try though. But very, very excited for that. For anybody who missed the Chaos Cast, we had Workhorse on and Hubert joined us as well. It was a great Chaos Cast. We talked a lot about the vision of the game and the direction that we're headed in. So if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It's on our YouTube page. And then it also has a video tour of Wisdom's space in Mall of America, which is incredible. But very much excited for that AMA next Tuesday with Wisdom Gaming. So we will, of course, blast that out and everyone will know, but y'all get to know first because you're here. And that was it for me. So before we wrap up and close out, does anybody have any last updates? And then we'll go to Dreamer and Fox. Going once, going twice. I was really hoping Sasha would speak. All right, Dreamer, go ahead.
Sorry, unmute button far. Yeah, I feel like I've talked a lot this this AMA. Apologies for that. So I will keep my comments brief. I'll just recap the excitement and the big win that I feel like this is. Hopefully everybody in the community feels it as well. Not only were there incredible wizards like Magnus, Fox, Hubert, typical Beetle, testers like Winston and Sachet, helping with all this through, feedback from community coming through Bolon, risen all our incredible mods, and people that have jumped right in and participated, all those that are going unnamed in the audience, the artists, JMW, Second Best Dad, and Cinnamon Bun. We talked on the stream yesterday, all the fun things. If you haven't gone in and paid attention to the changes, please do. There's updated NPCs and artwork, and I think I watched that turtle go by like 35 times before I clicked away from the docs. But a lot to celebrate here. A lot of hard work, in the background as well with translations. Shout out to Poppy and Dragon Tea and Pi as well on that. I don't know if I missed anybody. This wasn't meant to be like a big shout out thing, but I just wanted to make sure before we close the AMA. Fox, please fill in anybody that I missed, because I think I missed some and I don't want to make people feel unappreciated. But I saw Cabby got some praise for the awesome UI. That's fun to click through. I probably clicked that expand collapse button over 100 times when that came out, so I think it's pretty cool. But we should take time to celebrate the wins, because right after this launch, everybody did, look up and say, okay, we have this foundation onto new features. We've done some incredible new features in the last, period of time as we were, pivoting and dodging the events that have been happening. But now with this strong foundation, we can turn up the rate at which we can dedicate resources to those features and building partnerships and so on. So really excited about that. Hope that we all feel this success as a DeFi Kingdoms community and group, and excited for what's to come. I will say bullish and hand it to Fox.
So sorry, I'm going to interject for 2 seconds. One last thing. Emissions start in 1 hour and 51 minutes. So make sure you're ready.
Stealing my thunder there, Bolon.
Revenge for Pi. She DM'd me separate and said, make sure you steal.
Revenge. Yeah. First, I guess I'll start out by giving a kudos to all the people that Dreamer forgot, which I don't think there was actually any. I think he got them all, Dreamer. So our entire team has just been amazing. There's, as I sort of said at the start, it really is just like a well-oiled machine, and it feels really good to be on 2 chains again. And especially the amazing things we've seen with our Clayton partners, and just how well all of that has worked out. I've actually seen some pretty cool preliminary metrics for Clayton, and we're climbing up there in terms of the amount of transactions on their chain that are from our app. Just right out the gate, it's just huge. So really excited to see those over the next few days as that climbs, and the exciting things that we have currently ongoing over there on Sarandale for the summoning event, and there's the S-Jewel snapshot, and there's a bunch of other things that will be happening too. So stoked about all of that. Our conquest to spread our app across the entire like Web3 metaverse is proceeding, and we will continue until we're everywhere. And I was actually this week in particular, I was kind of like reminiscing to the launch of Serendale 1.0 that we did last year, and it was in the basement of Dreamer and his house over there, and it was me and Admiral was there and Pieface, and there was a few people online that were there, and it was just kind of a very low key but also high stress time that was just like okay, we're doing this, let's see where it goes, and we didn't really know what was in store. Pieface actually told me the other day like, hey, it was a full moon last time that we launched, and it was a full moon this time that we launched Serendale 2.0 again, and that was really cool because astrology. But we've really come so far since then, and it's really cool to see like the new map and like graphics and all of like the new features and things that are there, and just being able to launch all of that all at once is just amazing. And as Dreamer and others have said, we are here, we've built, and now we are excited to see what's next, and excited to start to build all those really cool features that are on the roadmap. And that's really the fun part. That's the part I live for, and really stoked to see what's up in the rest of this month and also into next year. So thank you to everyone involved. Huge kudos to the team. Huge shout out to the community and for the excitement that has been there, and the understanding and the faith that you've always placed in us. And we're honored to be able to do this. So I guess with that, I'll just end with saying bullish, and thank you for coming to the AMA. I'll see you guys.
Bullish.
Push.
Bullish.
Bullish.